Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, or good night, depending on what time of day you're listening to this. When I'm doing this, it is currently Monday morning, March 8th. I know, me doing this on a Monday morning. And it's before 10 o'clock, so what's really wrong with me? So welcome to the 8th episode of First and Ben. This is a way different format. This is not a live video, so it is a little bit different in that sense. What we have for you today, or what I have for you today, I should say, as you can see for our listeners, it is only me today. If you're not familiar with First and Ben, usually we would be going through every game from the previous week. We would be previewing some games for the next week over the course of the season. Of course, football season is over, so I do have to adjust the way that First and Ben is done. And it is going to be done in this format moving forward. It's going to be just like the rest of our episodes on Keeping Up with the BS. As you can see, if you're watching, I have all my Bears attire on. For our listeners on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, you guys rock. Please keep liking. Please keep leaving those 5-star reviews. Please keep subscribing. Just a reminder, everybody, that if you do leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and you have a name that we can recognize, you will be entered in for a chance to win that free Keeping Up with the BS t-shirt that Scott and Dylan put out. It's got my name on the back. It's a great quote. These are exciting times, you guys. Come on. They really are. Anytime you get to hear from me or I get to talk about sports, it's exciting times. Everyone asks, what's going to happen when nothing exciting is happening? Well, shut up. Something is always exciting, whether I make it exciting or not. No, I'm just kidding. I love you guys. Don't shut up. Please never shut up. I love hearing from everyone. So anyways, what we've got on tap for you today is kind of a little rant. I have been sitting on these Chicago Bears quarterback rumors all winter, going into spring now. I've been sitting on them. I've been keeping my mouth shut. I haven't really said a lot. We've been linked to any quarterback pretty much that's in the NFL at this point. You know, Deshaun Watson, Matthew Stafford, Carson Wentz, even Mitch Trubisky coming back. But I have to tell you, I'm tired of it. I really am. I'm tired of being used as a bargaining chip for these other teams just so that they can get the Chicago Bears involved. Because there's no secret that the other teams in this league know that the Chicago Bears need a quarterback. And if they have some other team that's trying to get them, well, they're going to say, oh, the Bears are involved, trying to get them to up their offer, which is exactly what we saw with Carson Wentz. But here's where we find ourselves 2 years after that screw up of Cody Parkey. We've gone 8-8 the last 2 seasons. Yeah, we made the playoffs this year, but that's because, you know, the COVID season gave us an extra playoff team. Mitch Trubisky's out of excuses, you guys. This is coming from a Trubisky truther. He's out of excuses. His New Orleans playoff game was complete crap. You know, we were down 7-3 at halftime. Granted, we should have went into that half up 10-7 if Javon Wims could catch a flipping football to save his life. But I won't get into that. That's not what this episode's about. And he couldn't get it done. Save that, 3 seconds on the clock, the garbage time touchdown pass to Jimmy Graham where he just caught it and walked off the field into the tunnel. Yeah, that's when we knew Trubisky was done. That was his last play as a Chicago Bear. Nick Foles is not the answer. And I'm sorry if you think he is, but he's not. He's just not a 16-game starter in this league. He's a quality, above-average backup at best. And I'm sorry if you didn't like Carson Wentz and Nick Foles, or if you were on either side of that debacle in Philadelphia a couple years ago. But you can't tell me that Carson Wentz didn't do all the hard work for him. Carson Wentz had an MVP season in 2017. He doesn't tear his ACL that year. He wins the MVP. Easy. Hands down. That was his best season yet. He gets Nick Foles, the number 1 seed. Everyone's counting the Eagles out already. And he just happens to beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. And now they have a statue for Nick Foles. That's got to suck if you're Carson. I feel bad for him in that sense. You give everything to the city of Philadelphia, and they give your backup this statue. Granted, the backup won the Super Bowl, but that's fine. But outside of that comeback win in Atlanta in week 3, Nick Foles has done nothing special. He hasn't. So stop telling me that he has. He's not the answer, because That game against LA was complete crap. That game against Tennessee was complete crap. New Orleans, yeah, that was probably his best loss. But to lose to Minnesota at Soldier Field the way we did was garbage. It was garbage. Mitch Trubisky has yet to lose to the Minnesota Vikings, by the way. Just putting that out there. Nick Foles couldn't even beat him once. But everyone's going to bash on me here because, oh, Nick Foles beat Tom Brady. Tom Brady just won the Super Bowl, blah, 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 blah. Who cares? Who cares? Good for the Bucks. They won the Super Bowl. Where were the Bears? Oh, yeah. We lost to the Saints we were one and done again. We were one and done in the wild card round again. That's right. Get Nick Foles out of here. I'm done with it. Nick Foles, Mitch Trubisky, I don't want either one of them back in 2021. I'm sorry. And neither should Matt Nagy or Ryan Pace if they want to have a job. The Carson Wentz rumors, I'm not going to lie. They were growing on me. Carson Wentz was not my first choice to be the Chicago Bears quarterback. But after doing some stat searching, like, he was slightly better than Mitch Trubisky. So, like, I would have. Here's life as a Bears fan. You'll just take anything at this point. Not only did Wentz not want to be here, though, but this is exactly what I was describing. The Eagles were manipulating the story the whole time to try to get Indianapolis to up their offer. I don't even think the Bears were involved at this point, you guys. I really don't. I think that Howie Roseman is just such a complete dumbass that he said he just threw Chicago in there, and Indianapolis called their bluff. So then the whole reason that all these guys like Adam Schefter are saying, Carson could announce within the week. That's why it turned into, 3-4 weeks? Because the Colts said, no, the Bears aren't in on this. You're stupid. Good for the Colts. Good for the Colts. They got Carson Wentz at a steal. The Eagles lost that trade. And they're going to find out because Jalen Hurts, I haven't seen enough from him. I don't think anyone's seen enough from Jalen Hurts, except apparently Howie Roseman, to make him the starting quarterback in 2021. And it's going to be a complete Howie Roseman move to waste the number 6 pick on a quarterback when they have other obvious needs, such as defense. How about getting someone that can pass rush? I don't know. There's an idea. But, going back to Carson Wentz, if he would have been in a Bears uniform, we're not a Super Bowl contender with Carson Wentz. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's decent, but I don't think that he's going to do any. Like, he'll beat you the Lions and the Vikings, like Mitch has done, but he's not going to beat you the Packers twice a year like we need to if we want to go far. He's not going to get that done. And these other names that we've been hearing, Derek Carr and Marcus Mariota, there's nothing special there. I'm sorry. Derek Carr's a great quarterback. Marcus Mariota, he had a promising career, but he's fallen off. I don't want those guys. I really don't. They're going to cost us less in trade value, sure. But if you're Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace, think about this in terms of job security. Is that going to keep you your job? Do you go put your complete job trust, job security in the back pocket of Derek Carr? Do you do that? I wouldn't. And I guess that goes for the same with this Alex Smith news now. Alex Smith just got cut by the football team this past weekend, and everyone's like, oh, he's going to go to the Chicago Bears. Sure, because every free agent quarterback's going to go to the Chicago Bears. We could put all 11 guys on offense. They could all just be quarterbacks that we've been linked to this winter. This is a make or break decision, and you cannot get it wrong if you're a general manager or a head coach when your owner said, yeah, you pretty much have 1 year left. I'll give you 1 year to get this right. Otherwise, we got to move on, which is, I think, the position that George McCaskey's in. And it's great from his standpoint. If you're looking at this job potentially being open a year from now, you're thinking, oh, well, the owner's going to give me time. He's not just going to see that I'm not getting results and then can me. No, he's being patient. And that's a great thing to do as a team owner. It shows coaches that you have job security. He'll give you some time to get things right. But if you don't deliver, like, ultimately, sorry, you got to go. And the whole reason we're in this situation is because Ryan Pace was an idiot last year at this time. We had to trade for that terrible Nick Foles contract. No one wanted Nick Foles except for maybe a few fans. And it ended up exactly the way we all thought it would. Trubisky was the week 1 starter. Matt Nagy benched him the instant he could. And then we brought Trubisky back because Nick Foles sucked. Not saying I didn't tell you so, but I told you so. And everyone that's saying Dak Prescott, come on. He's not coming to Chicago. There's no way. There's absolutely no way Jerry Jones lets Dak Prescott leave Dallas. Sorry. He's going to get a franchise tag. He ain't going anywhere. Which I guess that all comes down to one name in particular. And this is the $1 million prize right here. It's Russell Wilson. I mean, it's come out that the Chicago Bears are prioritizing Russell Wilson right now, and you have to. You absolutely have to, because that's the name you need. That's the name I'm putting all my chips on. If I have to put one quarterback that I've been linked to, if I have to put all of my money, my job security, my living situation, if I had to bet all of that on one player, if I had to, I would bet it on Russell Wilson. Without a shred of doubt, this is who Chicago needs. It's plain and simple. The last time Russell Wilson threw under 30 touchdown passes was 2016. He threw 40 this past season. Guess how many Trubisky had? Trubisky didn't even make it over 20. He's made it over 20 once, and that was in 2018 when literally everything just happened to go right. Except that playoff game, of course, the double doink. So, and here's my hot take. I know fans in any sports do this. I'm guilty of it in other sports. I know I've had my analytical thinking when it comes to player contracts, team money. I know I do this too. But in this particular situation, we need to stop complaining about selling the future. This is a franchise caliber quarterback. This is a guy that can come in on day one and make you Super Bowl contenders. You guys, if the Bears don't make this move, you're slamming, you're going up to the window and you're saying, here, let me shut it myself on your on your contention. Your window of contention is slamming shut. But if you make this trade, you extend it a little bit, because Russell Wilson is that good. He's that good. And let's take a look at the Bears' last 4 first-round picks, shall we? For all of you fans that are so highly coveted with first-round draft picks, let's take a look at the Bears. Kevin White, not with the team anymore. Leonard Fournette, not with the team anymore. Mitch Trubisky, bust, not with the team anymore. And Roquan Smith. I'll give you Roquan Smith, but Roquan Smith plays middle linebacker. He doesn't play quarterback. I don't want Ryan Pace drafting another quarterback. He cannot get the quarterback position right. We've had Mike Glennon, Mark Sanchez, Mitchell Trubisky, and Nick Foles for those are just 4 names over the last 4 years that have been in the quarterback room at Hallis Hall. That's terrible. I don't want him drafting another quarterback. I don't think Mac Jones is that good, if you want me to be completely honest. Maybe that comes back to bite me in the ass. Maybe it does. But Alabama quarterbacks have not worked out in the NFL. Remember A.J. McCarron, how great he was for Alabama? Dude won like 3 or 4 national titles. Where's he now? Is he even still in the league? He might just be a backup. Or he might be a free agent. I don't know. I really don't. Jalen Hurts, we'll see what happens. Tua, Miami was ready to ship him out to Houston the instant they were connected to Deshaun Watson. What does that tell you? I don't want Mac Jones. I'm sorry. I really don't. Yeah, this trade is going to cost multiple first-round picks, so you're getting rid of your 2021 and 2022 first-round pick. I'm good with that. I really am, because I don't want Ryan Pace drafting. Take the Sean McVay approach. Who needs first-round picks? There's teams and organizations that glamour over first-round draft picks, like the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns of the old days, like teams that'll just covet these, like the Dolphins. They'll just covet having first-round picks just so they can flaunt them. But this trade, if you're going for Russell Wilson, it is going to cost you a big-name player or two. And I know the names that have been rumored are Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks, and possibly Jalen Johnson. Not all 3, but maybe like a pick or 2 out of these. And Nick Foles is going in this deal too, because you would leave Seattle with no quarterback. They're going to be like, here, you're taking his contract. Nick Foles, he's going to Seattle if this trade goes down. I love those 3 defenders that I mentioned, Mack, Hicks, and Johnson. I think Jalen Johnson is going to be a great young DB for the Bears in the future. I'm really hoping that that's the name that we can keep on our roster, because I do think that he can be our top guy in the secondary. With respect to Eddie Jackson, I do think that Jalen Johnson will be better. Akeem Hicks, I love the guy so much. I love watching him play. I love how just absolutely tough he is down in the trenches, but he's only got a year left. And I don't think that we're going to end up giving him a lot of money. He's had some injury history. I love the man. Don't get me wrong. I really like Akeem Hicks, but I would send him to Seattle to get Russell Wilson. To fix the offense, I would do it. And this one's going to hurt the most because I love Khalil Mack. I know that this trade just revitalized everything. This trade, had we won the Super Bowl in 2018, this would have been the comparable to when the Cubs signed John Lester, and it just changed the whole mentality and aura of the Chicago Cubs. This trade with the Raiders did that for the Chicago Bears. It put us back on the map. It made people stop laughing at us, even if it was just for a year. Khalil Mack's trade put us on the map. But here's the thing. We have a generational defense, yes, but that defense is getting older. It has gotten weaker since 2018. Khalil Mack has a lot of money tied into our organization right now. His contract is costing us a lot. And we've still gone 8-8 the last 2 seasons. I'm not saying that's Khalil Mack's fault, but there's only so much the guy can do. I would trade Khalil Mack if I could get Russell Wilson. I would do it in a heartbeat because this offense is so freaking terrible. We need it. Russell Wilson led the Seahawks to the playoffs. And granted, they lost to the Rams, but how relevant have the Seahawks have been relevant for a long time with Russell Wilson as their quarterback. They've been a lot better than us, that's for sure, every season, maybe save 2018, but they've been better than us every single season. And we have even if we lose some of those players, our defense is still a lot better than what Russell Wilson was playing with in Seattle. I still think that we're a very dangerous team because I will sacrifice a great defense just to balance that out. Like, our offense is at the bare bottom. It's so bad. It was probably the worst offense in football last year. Our defense, it's not at the top anymore. It's not. It's starting to come down. So I would bring that defense ranking down a little bit more if we could boost our offense. That's just me, though. I'm tired of going 8-8. I'm tired of going 500. We deserve a win. Chicago fans, we deserve a franchise quarterback. We deserve an answer that finally gets it right. It could have been Jay Cutler. The things that went wrong, those are just freaks of nature, things that could go wrong, and they happen. Those were some worst case scenario things, like that injury in that NFC Championship game. One could argue that the Aaron Rodgers' one Super Bowl victory just could easily be Jay Cutler's had he not gotten hurt in that playoff game. I'm just saying. The Packers are still a lot better than the Chicago Bears as the teams stand right now. The Green Bay Packers are significantly better than the Chicago Bears. The Minnesota Vikings I think will be better than this current Chicago Bears team. And I think the Detroit Lions are going to figure things out. Maybe not. I think they're still going to suck in 2021, but I think they are going to eventually correct themselves and get back to kind of how they were, being a sneaky, dangerous team in the mid-2010s. But trading for Russell Wilson, you guys, that makes you Super Bowl contenders overnight. That does for the offense what the Khalil Mack trade did for this defense. It flipped the script. I think that if we can trade for Russell Wilson and franchise tag Allen Robinson, I think that fixes that relationship with A-Rob, honestly. I think if you go out and get him an actual quarterback that will get him the ball, he's going to be more willing to stay. I really do. Right now, I don't think A-Rob wants to come back to Chicago. I wouldn't because there's no answer at quarterback. But if you go out and get Russell Wilson, you save Nagy and Pace, you save their jobs, you probably mend that relationship with Allen Robinson, and you're Super Bowl contenders. There's nothing about it that doesn't make sense. All in all, moving a Hicks or a Mack for Russell Wilson 1000% okay with me. It really is. It gets Nagy his quarterback that he desperately needs, and it only slightly weakens the defense. Money is freed up for sure that we can go get replacements in free agency. Plus, we'll have some draft picks. If we can draft Darnell Mooney in the 5th round, we can probably find a sneaky good defensive replacement for someone we're going to give up in one of those rounds. Let's not forget Travis Gibson is still sitting there as well, and he plays left outside linebacker. I'm not saying he's going to be Khalil Mack, but I think he can be very good for the Chicago Bears. Watching the team regress in 2019, I expected it to a degree. I thought we were going to improve, but we ended up regressing really badly. But 2020, I wanted to pull my hair out. I lost hair at how freaking off the offense was last season. We couldn't score in the third quarter, all but 2 games. And I think those 2 games, I think one of them was, I can't remember one of them, but the other one was that ass whooping in Jacksonville, which they were tanking for Trevor. So who cares at this point? Arguably the only reasons our losses were close, but was because that we had great fourth quarter garbage time stats. You know, especially that Tennessee game. I don't think we'd scored all game. I think we were losing 24-7 maybe. And then we only lost by 7 because Nick Foles decides he's going to have a hero garbage time fourth quarter. It's time, you guys. Trade for Russell Wilson. Give Seattle whatever the hell they want, but there's absolutely no reason that Russell Wilson should not be wearing number 3 for the Chicago Bears in 2021. Whatever it costs, give Seattle whatever they want. But this fixes your offense, and it makes you competitive with the Green Bay Packers. Not only the Packers, it's going to make you competitive with now. I think the Bucks. I think the Bucks run the NFC because just because Tom Brady, like we're all going to say that it's the Tom Brady effect. But this move, this can change the Bears the way Brady changed the Bucks. The Bucks were a 7-9 team before Brady. They get Brady and they win the Super Bowl, absolutely stomping the Packers twice in the same year. We could do that if we get Russell Wilson. That's all I'm saying. So I'm sorry if you value first-round picks, if you value this defense. I'm not saying that I don't. I'm saying that I'm willing to sacrifice some areas of the organization in order to better others. So by all means, if you want to go 6-10 next year with Nick Foles as your starter, keep Khalil Mack, keep Akeem Hicks, keep them all. That's fine. I don't trust Ryan Pace to draft a quarterback. And I think that right now, as things stand, Nick Foles is our QB1. And I don't think he's a QB1. I don't think he should be on this roster if you want my actual opinion. I don't think he's good enough. Maybe for this team he's good enough because, we're settling for complacency. Maybe that's just me. Well, you guys, that's going to do it for First and Ben. I do want to thank y'all for listening today. Please continue to share us with your friends. Share us on Facebook. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on Anchor. Give us those 5 stars. Again, please, if you are going to leave a 5-star review, make sure it's a name that we can recognize, and you will be entered for a chance to win that free t-shirt. We'll have more news on that coming soon, as well as possibly we'll have more information on that eating competition that Scott and Dylan teased the other day. And we'll see what the Bears end up doing. Hopefully soon. I'm ordering a Russell Wilson Chicago Bears jersey. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Until next time, First and Ben, you heard it here, episode 8, all Chicago Bears. Let's go win a Super Bowl, you guys. Let's go. Let's go to the freaking moon. We'll catch you next time.